Homeowners of Tzu Chi's prefab units in Bohol of the Philippines clean up their future home. We learn more about why Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology and Tzu Chi University was established. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. In October of 2013, on the island of Bohol in the Philippines, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake occurred. In the aftermath, Tzu Chi worked in cooperation with the local government to help residents rebuild. In the town of Inabanga in Barangay Riverside, the government offered 1.9 hectares of land for the purpose. With work beginning in June of last year, now over 70 prefabricated homes have been completed, with the entire project expected to be completed in April this year. Residents are already helping prepare the new community and looking forward to the day they can move in.
Since June of last year, 70 prefabricated houses have been built on this 1.9 hectare plot of land. The structures are on elevated land with drainage ditches located all around to prevent future floods for this community. But the cooperation of the Tzu Chi Foundation and the local government doesn't stop there. Plans for a school, a church, and public sanitation are all in development.
We
are all very happy. Tzu Chi has made it possible for residents to have their own homes. Everyone has done a lot of work, cooperating with the provincial and local government to make this all happen.
There is still some time before April when residents may officially begin to move in. However, there are already quite a few people cleaning up the homes and the landscape in preparation before moving in.
Our home was destroyed in the earthquake, but we're very happy thanks to Tzu Chi. They've helped us rebuild our community, and these homes are beautiful. We're all busy cleaning and getting ready because we're so excited to be moving in and to have our own home once more.
Sobrang happy namin, masaya kami ma'am na andito yung bahay.
Since the 7.2 earthquake in October of 2013 damaged numerous homes in Bohol, Tzu Chi, the local government, and local residents have been working hard to rebuild. Although the work hasn't been easy, all have persevered, and the residents' dreams of a new start with new homes will become reality.
Judged by renowned experts, two Jingsi products won recognition at this year's DaAi Product Design Award, one of which is the Jingsi folding bed and the other is the Jingsi foldable disaster housing. A ceremony was held in Munich, Germany on February 26 to honor this year's winners. On February 26, the DaAi Design Award held a ceremony in Munich, Germany to honor the winners of this year's innovative designs. Among the 5,800 entries from over 40 different countries, the Jingsi Foldable Disaster Housing won an award in the product design category. Created with disaster relief in mind, the housing unit, made of polypropylene, is flame-resistant and wind and rainproof. With the added PP corrugated covering, the unit is not only sturdy but also well-ventilated.
There are two physical layers. One is the tent, the other is the PP board. However, there is an additional layer formed, which is the air envelope. That helps keep the temperature inside at a comfortable level.
The Jingsi Foldable Disaster Housing, which is approximately 13.22 square meters, can be interconnected with other units to form one large unit up to 1,322 square meters, and even be divided into different rooms. On top of that, the ease of setup and breakdown and transportation has really caught the judges' eyes.
It's reusable. After the disaster relief mission is over, it only takes 7 minutes to set up. Breakdown is easy too.
Meanwhile, the Jingsi bed also won an award for its packaging with the sleep box and wheel design.
The packaging, when unfolded, becomes a mattress for the Jingsi bed. The directions are clearly marked on the carton. The Jingsi bed is very sturdy and doesn't wobble. It's our sleep box and wheel design.
Designed with Tzu Chi's disaster relief mission in mind, these innovations won accolades on this international platform, which further recognizes the charity's mission to serve with compassion and heart. In Taiwan, the former director of the Institute of Medical Sciences at Tzu Chi University, Professor陳幸一, has passed away at the age of 73. After graduating from the National Defense Medical Center, Professor Chen dedicated himself to medical research and teaching, winning numerous awards both domestically and internationally. To honor the esteemed professor, a memorial service was recently held.
With singing, teachers and students of Tzu Chi University's College of Medicine remember and honor Professor Chen Xingyi. Having taught for nearly 50 years, Professor Chen has passed on his professional knowledge to numerous students, as well as teaching them by example.
Although we know a lot in treating patients, there is still a lot we do not know. We need to be more careful and more humble.
After graduating from the National Defense Medical Center, Professor Chen dedicated himself to basic medical services, especially physiology research. He published more than 220 dissertations and won numerous awards in and out of Taiwan.
He led me into the world of medical science and taught me about the wonders of research. He taught us to pursue eternal truth instead of benefits in the short term.
Inspired by Master Zheng Yan, Professor Chen began to take part in preliminary work in setting up Tzu Chi University's College of Science in 1992. Later, he became the director of TCU's Institute of Medical Sciences and continued to work as a visiting professor after retiring in 2008.
He laid the solid foundation for physiology studies at Tzu Chi University. Tzu Chi University trains professionals who share his character of being a loving doctor.
With dedication, Professor Chen Xingyi has trained and inspired numerous humane doctors who will continue his legacy of serving selflessly.
As the Tzu Chi Foundation continues its efforts to comfort victims of the recent earthquake that struck southern Taiwan, many volunteers from Tainan have traveled to the Jingsi abode in Hualien to report to Master Zheng Yan on their quake relief experiences. Meanwhile, a memorial service was held on February 26 in Tainan's stadium for the victims killed by the earthquake.
At this joint memorial service in Tainan, families remember and honor their loved ones.
向罹难者献花致祭，献花。
The solemn service is held in honor of those who perished in the recent earthquake.
Rebuilding does not only include reconstruction of the buildings, but also emotional recovery. I hope our support and care will help everyone get through the tough times.
面对灾变。
In the face of disasters, we need to support and care for each other.
In addition, religious representatives are here to offer their prayers, including a representative from the Tzu Chi Foundation.
It's the most important to wish for the deceased to rest in peace as the survivors calm themselves. We also want to thank the rescue teams for their dedication during the search and rescue operation.
In addition, Japan's Miyagi Prefecture has made donations through the hands of Tzu Chi. With love and support of all, the quake victims will not be alone on the path to recovery. As Tzu Chi volunteers continue with the quake relief effort, some volunteers from Tainan have come to Jingsi abode in Hualien to share their experiences.
We take the Dharma to heart and apply Buddhist teachings in our conduct. Therefore, when a large disaster strikes, everyone is eager to lend assistance.
After the quake struck at 3:57 a.m., Tzu Chi volunteers immediately set up a disaster command center by 4:30 a.m. In addition, one volunteer offered his kitchen so fresh hot meals could be served.
Brother Huang Fuchuan, who is experienced in international disaster relief, told us that according to his experience, the rescue workers need hot food by midnight in order to work until the next morning.
Volunteers also work in shifts to accompany the quake survivors day and night.
If we can ease the anxious minds of the quake victims, despite staying up all night, I believe our spirits are fine, even if we are fatigued.
After 4 hours of sharing their precious experience in the afternoon, Master Zheng Yan lauds the volunteers' effort and thanks them for working as a team with love.
这个时代就是需要人间菩萨更多、更快速，而且能更和谐谐的投入。这一次不就是吗？真的呢，是以天下众生为亲人，这就是菩萨心。
With thoughts for those affected by this disaster, many volunteers expressed their concerns. They will continue to help the quake victims with sincerity, showing that Taiwan is full of love and kind-hearted people.
2 more prayer ceremonies were held in Tainan to console residents dealing with the shock of the Meinong earthquake. One was held at the Kunshan Elementary School in Yongkang, while the other was held at the DaAi Community Center. It has been over 20 days since the February 6th Meinong earthquake that ruined the Bohol market of DaAi and caused panic and shock among residents. Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a prayer ceremony at the nearby DaAi Community Center. The ceremony is an opportunity for residents to offer prayers and remembrances. Tzu Chi volunteers are there to console those suffering from grief.
After all the support and aid that's being offered, this ceremony may be the first time residents have really been able to get any real solace after such a shocking experience.
Compared to that feeling of helplessness after the quake, my heart feels much more at ease now. I feel much better than before.
Here is another prayer ceremony being held at Kunshan Elementary School, which is located in the neighborhood of the collapsed Weiguan apartment building. In the days following the disaster, this was a major site of the rescue operation, with volunteers and support from all over Taiwan converging here. The woman wearing the head wrap is Ms. Hong, who brought water to the disaster site daily during the relief effort.
One who has peace can truly give help to others.
I hope I can continue to help more, to give more. If there is ever a need, anything I can do, then I would gladly do as much as I can.
It's really so moving to see our community show this much love for one another.
These prayer ceremonies offer an outpouring of love to ease the shock of these recovering residents. Tzu Chi will be there to offer support, both spiritually and materially, as these communities work to rebuild. To help bring quality medical care to eastern Taiwan, the Tzu Chi Foundation built the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital 30 years ago. However, shortage of staff was always a problem. Also, due to underdevelopment, young people in eastern Taiwan had few opportunities in terms of getting an education or finding a job in the area. To tackle all these problems, Tzu Chi decided to open up a nursing school and then subsequently a college of medicine to train nurses and doctors. Now the nursing school has become the Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology, while the College of Medicine has become the Tzu Chi University.
有什么事？点滴没了，好，待会过去哦。
A nurse must be trained medically, but should also be able to empathize with his or her patients. A firm group can help settle the patient's worries. A nurse's job is stressful and backbreaking. Training one is not easy, especially in eastern Taiwan's Hualien.
那只是说有些好，我先接下电话了，不好意思。好，拜拜。
Now the head nurse of Mennonite Christian Hospital's ER department, Jin Xuezhen, first enrolled in the Tzu Chi College of Nursing in 1990, for there were not too many options for a junior high school graduate in Hualien.
我姑姑他们那个年代。
Back in my aunt's era, going to a nursing school meant traveling far, either to northern or southern Taiwan.
可能北部啦、南部啦。
Students back then still enrolled in the program, but without ample financial assistance. The tuition was still a burden to most students and their families.
Though Jin's home was financially stable, she almost couldn't graduate.
在专三的时候，我快要没有办法，就是缴学费。
By the third year, I almost couldn't pay my tuition. My mom had to go ask for help from my big aunt very nicely, so I could continue my schooling. By the fourth year, and I have God to thank for this, the government program came through, so I applied immediately. What was wonderful was that I also could apply for some scholarships.
学校好棒，在那个 timing， 我还可以去领取一些奖学金这样子。
The government subsidy program inside the private school was the first of its kind in Taiwan. To help with its students' career placement, the school also helped the students get their certificates, for the school was founded to bring opportunity to students of Eastern Taiwan. But for the indigenous students who need additional help, a better system had to be established.
原住民现在大部分都在东部，所以在那个城乡教学。
Indigenous students live here mostly in the east. Due to the urban-rural gap in educational resources, they are at a disadvantage when subjected to the national entrance exam system. This was why we went to the Ministry of Education to ask for special enrollment specifically for Indigenous students, and thus started our Indigenous student program.
的一个招生管道，所以我们就设立所谓的原住民专班。
The school was established in 1989 to also help the shortage of nurses in Eastern Taiwan. As of 2006, a nurse here was responsible for 103 patients. But back in 1981, there was only one nurse for every 1,871 patients. Due to the high workload and remote location, the turnover rate of nurses was always high here.
那当时一个病房大概有
Back then, about half of our nurses from one ward would leave. And when they do, our new nurses with just a year of experience became seniors.
要带新人。
A proper education is the only way to provide quality workers. Now, the Tzu Chi College of Nursing has become Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology and trains students from all over the world.
I come from Malaysia. Saya datang dari Malaysia.
To train more doctors, the Tzu Chi College of Medicine was founded in 1994. Now, the Tzu Chi University, for 20 years, these Tzu Chi schools have trained numerous doctors and nurses, who are now safeguarding patients all across Taiwan.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in various parts of Taipei held Lunar New Year celebrations. No matter if the celebration was held in Luzhou or Wanhua, participants enjoyed the festive atmosphere put on by the volunteers. Forming a white ox cart, Tzu Chi volunteers from Wanhua, Taipei, are welcoming the Lunar New Year, as well as Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary at the local Jinsi Hall. A community dance troupe made up of mostly housewives was also invited to perform at the celebration.
第一次进来很感动。
The first time I visited, I got goosebumps. Everyone works together here. I've also felt the Dharma joy.
This was the first time the calligraphy teacher, who has been teaching some courses at the Jinsi Hall, attended a Tzu Chi Lunar New Year gathering. Through his participation, he has felt the unity of the volunteers.
兴趣是要靠培养的。
Hobbies need to be nurtured. The art of calligraphy is being cultivated and spread with the help of Tzu Chi sisters and brothers.
他的去推广。
At the Luzhou Jinsi Hall, a choir sings in celebration of the Lunar New Year, while a young volunteer knew how to create blessings.
视讯拜年的时候，你把你的红包拿去哪里了？
给施工上人用。
为什么你要拿去给施工？
是帮助那些灾难的人。
Donating their love to disaster victims, participants give within their means and pray that disaster victims recover as soon as possible. Moving to the United States, the Tzu Chi Austin Liaison Office in Texas also held a Chinese New Year blessing ceremony to celebrate. Besides performances brought by collegiate youth volunteers and students from the local Tzu Chi Academy, participants also prayed together for peace and prosperity for all.
Celebrating the Chinese New Year is a must for Chinese people, even if they're in the United States. And nothing works better than the opening of dragon and lion dances. However, securing the props proved to be challenging for these Tzu Chings. Next, the kindergarteners from the Tzu Chi Academy take to the stage to perform, while the junior students won applauses with their fan dance. This celebration is hosted by the Tzu Chi Austin Liaison Office, besides performances by the local Tzu Chi Academy. The adults perform a segment from the musical adaptation of Sutra of Innumerable Meanings, which holds infinite wisdom. A celebration such as this is difficult far away from home. Participants also took a moment to pray for others across the world who are suffering because of disasters, for they know that they're blessed with peace in each other's company.
The same Lunar New Year celebration held by Tzu Chi volunteers all over the globe can be found in Johannesburg, South Africa as well.
Residents have joyfully come to this Lunar New Year gathering held by Tzu Chi, even though it is held in prefabricated houses for the first time to save on expenses. Despite the change of venue, everyone still enjoyed the warm atmosphere and no one complained of the heat. To ensure the attendees who speak different languages can understand the programs, the gathering is held in English as well as Chinese.
Everybody wants to know about the City Foundation. Everybody like to know about what is a foundation, what is a city. So City Foundation is where we learn our children from the start.
Embracing the new year, the participants also seized the occasion to make donations, putting their love into action.
Next, a group of young basketball players from Sholing, Hualien joined Tzu Chi volunteers for a chance to help the elderly of their village.
On this basketball court, young people in Sholing town play basketball together. In the next moment, they put on volunteers' vests to visit the elderly in the village with Tzu Chi volunteers and the chairperson of the Tribal Exchange Association.
She used to worry about her leaking roof, but after Tzu Chi rebuilt a new roof, it doesn't leak anymore. They built her this handicap-friendly service too.
These young volunteers listen to the chairperson describing the condition of this elderly woman. It makes them realize that visiting the elderly is important.
There are many elderly people in our village, so they also need a lot of help. I hope we can continue this home visit.
We also take them to care for the elderly in the community, so they can experience the sense of helping others.
By giving daily supplies to the elderly, these young people, under the guidance of the village adults and Tzu Chi volunteers, live out the value of their lives to experience the joy of giving.
To further develop the bond between parent and child while young, Tzu Chi Kindergarten in Butterworth, Malaysia recently invited parents to join their children in class. Meanwhile, students of the Tzu Chi Kindergarten in Penang helped spread some joy to dialysis patients. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.